Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa. And on Transformation Tuesday, there's no greater way than we transform through a great story in film. Valentina's here, award-winning producer, showcasing her new film, The White Snake Film. Tell us about that. So great to see you.
So great to see you and to be with this amazing and enthusiastic group of people. Good morning, La La Land. That's
The dreamers across the globe, La La Land.
So the film that we are now in the process of making and filming, it's called The White Snake, from the Native American prophecy of the black snake and the white snake. And it came, the idea to do a film about the Native Americans and alternative energies to oil came from my last documentary, called One Rock, Three Religions, got many awards and everything. And it was a documentary about peace in the Middle East. And through the course of the documentary, we had the honor to meet many leaders in politics, spirituality, humanitarian leaders, etc. And we came across the U.S. Energy Security Council, which is the government organization that is committed to to reduce our dependency from oil. And we understood that that was a whole subject on its own, that we couldn't just devote an interview in the middle of this conversation about peace, politics, oil, of course. And we decided to make a new documentary about oil. But of course, you know, I feel that a documentary, when it's too political, people do not connect. And to me, you know, I'm Italian, and most important, I'm a filmmaker, and there is no storyteller telling if we don't connect. So I felt that the Native Americans were the best vehicle to tell this story, especially because the whole Standing Rock saga was starting, and it was about oil. So we found kind of the journey, the thread to this new film through the Native Americans.
And the timing is so important. It was just announced today that the entire planet failed the UN's climate test.
Correct.
And why do you think it is, and what can we do as a planet from your experience in making this documentary?
Jeslan, I would get an award if I could answer that question. But I think that most important is our commitment to be open to learn new ways, to re-educate ourselves, to consider ourselves as one community committed to do better than just one single person committed to my own goodness.
So what is the white snake? What does the white snake represent?
The white snake, first of all, coming from the prophecy, the Native Americans, and specifically Chief Arvol Looking Horse, which is kind of like the pope of the whole tribes of the Native Americans. And we had the incredible privilege and honor to meet him, to interview him, to film him, and to have him as the narrator of our film. And he explained to us that we are right now still in an era called the black snake, where man is disconnected from the earth, is disconnected from nature, from the universe. But fortunately, we are getting into an era where this disconnection will kind of die, and we will rediscover the importance of feeling one with the earth, feeling one with each other, and therefore finding a better way of living for the entire planet.
And do you think this is going to happen through horrific things? It's going to birth and change and shift our values back, or how do you think that's going to happen?
You know, I'm not God, I'm not the chief of the Native Americans, but I can say this, that by our single actions and staying more informed, that we can see that there are many ways to prevent many of the terrible destructions that are happening. There are many ways where we can contribute. There are several countries that are giving fantastic role model examples of how reduce our dependency from oil, but also avoid deforestations, biofuels, using and committing to use more fuels different from just oil. So I think it's a series of steps, and I think we have to be very kind and patient with each other into this process of relearning.
So true. So tell people where they can find you and where they can find the film.
The film is still in the making, so we are still filming with the Native Americans, and then we will film in Costa Rica, in Israel, and a few other countries that are setting example in different ways to tell the stories and to show how the change can happen.
And you, Valentina, are setting an example in many different ways. Not only are you making incredible documentaries, but you're also involved in local fashion. The Focus TV family was there,
Yes.
And captured one of your fashion shows last year.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, actually my background is in fine arts and design. So I started many years ago finishing my studies in Paris, and I graduated in fashion design and started working as a very small designer in the ateliers of Jean-Paul Gaultier, Thierry Mugler, Kenzo, and then went back to Italy, worked for Prada and for many others, and on and on and on. It is later on that I embraced what is my family tradition. My grandfather was a very big producer and distributor, and we also grew up in opera theaters, in cinemas, because they were part of our families for 2 centuries. So it's very much in my tradition, and of course in the one of Francesco Quinn, who was my soulmate for many years.
Love it.
Yes.
Great. Well, thank you so much. Where can they find you and follow you specifically?
Facebook is always the easy one. Instagram at Queen Studios, which is our studio. My name, Valentina Castellani. Give me a call. Knock at my door. I'm always open
Come have
to
a
make some good
cappuccino.
cappuccino.